Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 hardest bosses in Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. With the remake on the way, we've taken some time to revisit this marvelous gem on Super Nintendo. It's surprisingly tough, and these bosses gave us a pretty hard time. How about you? Which boss did you struggle with most in Super Mario RPG? Let us know down in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Bun and Raspberry. Fighting a giant piece of cake should be a cakewalk, pardon the pun, but if you found yourself teetering over the edge a bit, we don't blame you. Bun and Raspberry are one of those bosses that require a couple of extra hoops to jump through. Extinguish the candles to damage Bun, and once he is defeated, you'll have to endure Raspberry's high attack power. Easier said than done though, as Bun can attack more than once on his turn, and also relight his candles. Nonsense? Completely. So make sure you're coordinating your attacks and healing properly. Countdown. In order to effectively defend against Countdown, you're going to need to know what each number it displays means. Of course, this might prove to be a challenge with the ding-a-lings around. It is best that you take these out first before Countdown, as they have a special ability with the big clock that allows Countdown to skip numbers. This can make its attacks a tad trickier to predict. Sure, you can try to bring down Countdown first for the extra challenge, but for some reason, you're not going to get any rewards for doing so. Might as well just do it the normal way. Jinx. Now, Jinx isn't difficult in general. For the first two encounters, you shouldn't have much of a problem so long as you've been keeping up with your levels and grinding. It's the third encounter that will make you more stressed than usual. He will have 1000 HP, higher attack power, higher defense, and more abilities than the previous fights. That Bombs Away ability, by the way, is the most powerful physical attack in the game and can potentially insta-kill one of your party members. You'll need more than luck to make it out of this fight. The Czar Dragon. The Czar Dragon puts up one heck of a fight from the get-go. Not only will it spam Flame Wall like there's no tomorrow, it will also summon Helios to assist it in the fight. However, this will only be the beginning of your troubles. Upon defeat, the dragon will sink back into the lava and rise again as the dreaded Zombone. Yep, it's the classic "you haven't even seen my final form" boss, and it comes with all the fixings with significantly higher HP than the first form. It bombards you with the same 3 attacks constantly, but luckily it's weaker to certain attacks than before. He may not be the toughest on the list, but he can certainly be a headache. Valentina and Dodo. Valentina looks like she would be a fairly easy boss, even with her dumb bird helping her. On the contrary, she quickly establishes herself as a nuisance. Dodo will abduct your middle party member to fight them, while your other 2 party members will take on the leading lady herself. The only way to make the fight normal is if your lone wolf manages to beat Dodo, or if you take too long to do enough damage. But that will be the least of your troubles, as Valentina boasts the largest number of spells out of every boss in the game. An arsenal of 9 spells coupled with a high health pool of 2000 HP makes her one of the most infamous bosses among players. And we're only halfway through the list. Smithy. Smithy might have one of the goofiest appearances of any Mario villain, but don't let that cause you to underestimate him. Remember that he is the final boss of the game, and you will need to know how to counter every one of his forms. Yes, he has forms, and not just 2, he's got 5 of them. With his trusty hammer, Smithy will take on several forms that each come with their own stats, abilities, and, thankfully, weaknesses. Make sure you know what characters you want to use before you go trying to end things with Smithy, and also, try to have some patience. You might be in this fight for a hot minute. Yaridovich. Despite his lanky limbs and awkward appearance, this walking beanpole quickly shows why he was appointed as Smithy's lieutenant. Thing is that we've seen this bag of tricks before. Clones? Come on now. Sounds like nothing special, but the clones can get out of hand fast if you leave them alone for too long. You will definitely want to have Geno in your party before this fight, as his Geno Whirl ability can insta-kill the clones, thus allowing you to focus on the main man just a little bit longer. The Axum Rangers. Now, the Axum Rangers can be a tricky bunch. None of them have anything particularly grueling to anticipate, at least on their own. They all have fairly average stats with somewhat small health pools, and you can gang up on one to dismantle the rest somewhat hastily. But what makes them a blight to players is their ship, the Blade. The Blade holds an attack called the Breaker Beam, which will be unleashed once each ranger is brought down, and it can ignore whatever defenses your party has put up. Chances are some deep wounds will be inflicted, and you may even exit the battle with a member or 2 down. Exor. And now we have the fight against an actual blade. A sentient sword that will require you to attack different parts of his face. Yes, Exor is one of those multi-segmented bosses, where you will need to attack his eyes, mouth, and pommel. The tricky bits of this fight are the pommel and mouth specifically, since both have a wealth of attacks to utilize and suffer from no weaknesses of any kind. You will definitely need to prioritize the eyes to properly damage the rest of Exor, or else you might run into some serious trouble. Qlex. In every corner of the community, across every forum about the game, Qlex has been repeatedly named the hardest boss in Super Mario RPG. And we could not agree more. 4,000 HP, 4 elemental crystals to barrage you on top of his own bag of tricks, and a small handful of incredibly powerful abilities that have made him a significantly harder boss than Smithy. But hey, what else would you expect from an optional hidden boss? It just wouldn't be a true JRPG or a Square game without an insane fight like this, and the only way to find him is just finding a shiny stone to unlock that mystical door. Did you enjoy this video? Check out some of our other videos here on MojoPlays, and don't forget to subscribe for more great stuff every day.